Kuta Torah, Parshas Tzav, page Yud Zayin, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 lines in the top of the page. Okay, last thing the Rebbe was explaining that Kriyas Yamsuf, which was the prerequisite for Matan Torah, is the revelation of Dibur. But La'aseh Lavi is going to be in the level of Chachma Nahar Pras, which is the level of Chachma, not the level of Bina, and therefore it's the level of Re'iyah, seeing versus understanding. That's what we're up to now. So he says, this level of Aren on the floor, Hashem says, I'm going to show you miracles. That's the level of Chachma Atzma. That's the level of Chachma itself. Yuv and other Mashakot B'Pirias Chaim Shakrish Malamita. In the Arizal's book it says, Gabi Arizal Shebeshas Hashina B'Yem HaShabbos. When Arizal went to sleep on Shabbos, Shama B'Yeshiva Shomayla. He heard in the heavenly yeshiva. In the Parsha Balakam Bilam Dvarim Nifloim. Wondrous things Shli Yochel Efashim B'Shmeinim Shanim B'Tzufim. In other places brought down, in a half an hour sleep that the Arizal had on the Shabbos, he saw revelations of Torah in the Parsha Balak and Bilam that would take him 80 years straight to talk. So the question is that Temuah, how is it possible that in 1 hour, where it would take 80 years to talk? That means in a half an hour even, he saw what would take 80 years. You know how many hours 80 years? It's a lot of hours. He says, even though letters of machshava are called asfin ravidavin, big letters. Because in thought works much quicker, the mind works much quicker than the mouth. Okay? Masik b'madzman, in a little bit, mashetzorach al zeh b'dibur zman rav, okay? But nevertheless, mikamakim, hainu shemasik machshava b'reba shah, what it means normally is in a quarter of an hour of thinking, it takes you an hour or two to speak. Yeah? Avol sheyask b'machshava b'shah achad. But in thought, in 1 hour, to what samach pei shana, that's zanimna, that's like impossible. How is it possible that the Arizal saw in 1/2 hour, 1 hour, whatever it is, enough to talk 80 years? By the way, it's a very interesting thing. I mean, it's very simple. When you speak or you think, thinking is much quicker than speech. I mean, therefore, even in davening, let's say, if you say the words quick, some people speak slowly, some people speak fastly, quicker. Yeah, so, but nevertheless, your thought, the kavanah, could be quicker because it works much quicker than. In fact, it's brought down by the Mittel Rebbe. The Mittel Rebbe wrote very, very fast, to the extent if the shamus didn't put another piece of paper right under it, he would write on the table. So the Rebbe explains it's not that he wrote quick. The Rebbe explains that his writing, his hand was completely bottled to the thought, and therefore worked as quick as the thought did.
It's not, it takes time when you see something, like for 2 seconds, it takes like 5 minutes to explain it.
That's what he just said. It makes sense, he says, in a quarter of an hour, it takes an hour or two to talk. But 1 hour, 80 years? Aval Inyan, the Inyan is what it says in Priyetz Chaim, Shasegose B'chinas Re'iyah. His understanding, what he heard then, what he saw was seeing, not understanding. The Hainu Riyah Atzmi is a Chochma, the essence of Chochma. Not the way Shemistabesh as Bebina V'Asog. Not the way it comes into Bina, in the level of letters. It's infinite. What he saw was infinitely at a greater level than Seichel, the way it's Malubish Basaga V'Aisius. In other words, it wasn't what he saw was a Seichel in words already. It's just that when you think in a quarter hour, it takes an hour or two to speak because thoughts are much quicker. Here he didn't think seichel in letters. He thought the essence of the seichel. To the extent when he saw the essence of seichel, what it would take normally, he'll need 60 or 80 years. It's similar to the concept, what it says in Tillim, we say this every Shabbos in davening. 1,000 years by Hashem is like one day. Yeah? So Chassidus explains, because 1,000 years is not a day. Because you're talking about a level higher than time. In fact, Yom Echad, Chassidus explains, doesn't mean one day. It means like the level of Yochid. There's the level of L'mayla min Azman, which the essence of Chochmah is higher than Zman, because it's not coming into limitations yet. So over there, it's possible in 1 hour to see 80 years.
An engineer or an architect looked at the blueprint for like 2 minutes. We can talk about it for maybe half a day.
Okay, there's an expression, what is it, a picture is 1,000 words? Something like that, right? You look at a picture, it takes a second. If you want to explain it with the colors, everything. But here he's talking, it's 80 years. Or Elef Shana Beinacha Kiyei Mesmel.
He was a special man.
Yeah.
And he's a Moshiach and Yosef, they say.
That's what they say. I'm not saying no, this is what they say. It's like a guy comes to Hashem and he says, God, you got so much money. Give me a little bit, a little bit of what you have. By you it says, Liya Kesef, Liya Zav, So Hashem said to him, okay, wait a day, 1,000 years. Want my money? So wait, 1,000 years, wait. Wait a day, Okay. But Dad said this what Moshe Rabbeinu, when he said, what did Moshe Rabbeinu, when he was fighting with Hashem to go into Eretz Yisrael? Yeah, he said like this. Ebrana ve'eres ha'aretz. Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to go into Eretz Yisrael to have the level of Re'iyah Eretz Ha'aretz. Ki b'Moshe Ksiv it says Vayar Reish Yisrael. V'rotze Moshe lamshach zu b'Knesset Yisrael. Moshe wanted to reveal with Vayar Reish Yisrael. Vayar. Moshe Rabbeinu was the level of Re'iyah. That's why he's higher than all those levels. So Moshe Rabbeinu. That's what we learned. Why can Moshe Rabbeinu bring Emunah internalized? Because he's higher than both, right? So he wanted to bring down that level of Re'iyah, of Elokus, all the way down. He couldn't influence. Therefore, what does the pasuk say right afterwards? Va'ata Yisrael Shema Elochukim. Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to bring down the level of Re'iyah, of Elokus, which would be like the level of the Arizal. But he says, after Hashem said, you're not going in, so then he said, V'ata Yisrael Shema Yisrael, Ki em la'asid, when will be this Gili of Re'iyah in the level of Knesset Yisrael, Aydei Moshiach. That's why it says, Arenu Niflois, Ki Meitzes Chomeret Mitzrayim, what's Moshiach going to accomplish? That's what the Rabbi is saying over here. By Kriyas Yamsuf, it was the level of Malchus Bina. That level was split. As our Chana to Matan Torah. Mashiach, when it's going to be Megala, this Gala is going to be revealed. The secrets of Torah, the level of Re'iyah, that has to be Nahar Kros. And he's not done yet. Why 7, not 10, or 12, whatever. But Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to accomplish the level of Re'iyah by the Jews. The only thing he was able to accomplish is Vata Shema Yisrael. Only the level of Shemiah. Mashiach is going to accomplish the level of Re'iyah. That's simply also what the pasuk says about Mashiach. And Gemara elaborates on it. Marech v'doyin. So normally, when a Bezdin paskins, they have to hear the sides, they have to hear testimony, they need to hear. But Moshiach, it says, Marech v'doyin, Marech reach. Moshiach is, the people are going to come to litigation, he's going to go, you're right, you're wrong. Huh? That's what the Gemara says. It's Marech v'doyin. I think it's a possible, I don't know. But whatever. Marech v'doyin, Moshiach is going to smell. So Chassidus explains that the level of reach is something of the neshama. Neshama then is by. You know, there's a din. You smell psamim, you have to make a bracha. Yeah. So it says Allah, why is there no after bracha on psamim? You eat food, you make a bracha before and a bracha after. Why is there no bracha on psamim after bracha? So it says in halacha, because it's something that the neshama benefits from, and there's no everlasting thing on it. Food remains within you. Neshama, it smells because it's the neshama, it comes and goes, that's it. So there's no residue of it remaining in the body to make an after bracha. You made the first bracha, that's it, it's gone. But that's also the concept of Marech v'doyin. It's a level higher than Seichel, higher than, it's going to see. He's going to see what's right and what's wrong. Yeah.
And then when it says Moshe Rabbeinu came to Rabbi Akiva's class,
Right.
what does that mean?
It's Gemara Menachos. What?
What does that mean?
Hashem put him into a time machine. You know time machines?
Is it connected to this concept, or actually he saw the class? Or is it what said?
He said he put him in the class, he was sitting in the back rows, whatever. Now, doesn't mean physically. I wasn't there.
Why not?
It could be Hashem put him physically there. But the Moshe Rabbeinu's body come back and out of the grave and he sat down. Moshe Rabbeinu was 15 feet tall. Do you think Rabbi Kiva would say, hey, what are you doing here? You know?
The above time said, like this thing over, like what the Rebbe says here.
Yeah, but the Gemara tells the story. Rabbi Kiva said it then, and Moshe Rabbeinu didn't know it, and he felt bad, and the student asked Rabbi Kiva, where do you know it? He said, Allah Moshe Messinai. So Moshe Rabbeinu felt good. Is it a physical story? I don't know. That's it.
But it could be.
Could be. By Hashem, everything could be.
Everything is possible.
Yeah.
He also
It could be Moshe Rabbeinu was put there and Rabbi Kiva didn't even see him there.
Yeah. That's possible.
Right? I mean, if Hashem did that, he could do that also.
And then Hashem put him on this thing. They said, yeah, he's Israel. Look at it. And he saw the whole...
No, he did not. He was outside Israel, stood on the mountain and looked at the land.
But at what time, things don't matter. We don't understand. I don't understand. It was above time.
By the way, I don't want to... It says in Sfarim, obvious Chassidus logic, we, as limited human beings, limited in time and place, we cannot understand what above time and place is. We definitely cannot understand a level which is above both of them. Okay? But just because we don't understand, that's not God's problem. It's our problem. Okay? It's our fault. Not, So what here is saying is, the Gilui of Mashiach is going to be the level of Arenu Ri'iyah, the Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to bring in the Jews. But by the way, you know what the pasuk says? When Moshe Rabbeinu said, show me your greatness, what does Hashem tell him? Ki lo yirani ha'adam v'chai. Level of Ri'iyah can't be now. Ki lo yirani ha'adam v'chai. It can't be a level of Ri'iyah. What?
When the neshama leaves the body temporarily.
What do you mean temporarily?
During sleep.
Leaves 160.
160.
Yeah.
Is it not bound by time and place at that specific time?
To a certain extent, dreams, you could dream a whole long story, and the dream could have taken 5 minutes. But in that 5 minutes, you dreamt years of stuff, right? What does that mean? That it's above time coming into time? I don't know. I'm down to earth. You talk to me about food, I'll listen. You talk to me about things, I'll listen. You type of chocolate, I'll listen to this stuff.
Rabbi, Hashem told us we are limited. He told us.
Hashem told us we're limited. He didn't have to tell us.
Moshe Rabbeinu said, I want to see you. He says,
You can't.
You cannot. If you see,
Right.
you cannot last.
Right.
And that's Moshe Rabbeinu.
Right.
Ours is much lower.
In Tehillim there's a pasuk, "Vatachasreu ma'at melukim." The Gemara Rosh Hashanah says that there are 50 levels of Bina given into the world. Chamishim Shari Bina Nivra Ba'elam. And Moshe Rabbeinu only had the 49th level. Shenamar, the Gemara said, "Vatachasreu ma'at melukim." He was missing a little bit from God, meaning the Gemara says he only got 49 out of 50. Then the Maggid says that when Moshe Rabbeinu died, he was buried in Har Nevo. And Nevo is Nun Boy. When he died, he reached the 50th level. But in the Gof, you can be. But Mashiach's uniqueness is in the Gof, we're going to have those levels. Why? Because in essence, without getting into it again, the body is higher than the neshama. Its Gashmius is higher than Ruchnius. So until Mashiach comes, it's all about Ruchnius. So Gashmius can't handle it. But when the essence of Hashem will be revealed, and we'll see that Gashmius is even greater than Ruchnius, so in Gashmius, we're going to have the ultimate level of seeing godliness.
Even the basar. Even the basar.
But all basar yachtav, like we said, the Rebbe Rashab said, basar as basar is going to see. And therefore the Gemara says, the pasuk, Evan mikir yazik, the stone will scream out of the wall. Says the Medrash says, when lost love, if a guy's going to be stepping on Shabbos, carrying whatever, the stone is going to scream, Shabbos, Shabbos, like they do in Meir Sharm, Shabbos, and they throw stones. But over there it says the stone. Not the people throwing books to stones. Okay. At the end of the base, concerning is going to be revealed the secrets of the mitzvahs. It says, Ayin l'rasa, Yasel l'machakale, like it says, V'zeu she'yilmid yalamid Mashiach, this is what Mashiach is going to teach. Like he said before, Hine Yaskel Avdi, Ma'od, even greater than Ma'od is Adam, even higher than Adam Rishon, and that's going to be Aliyah's Tinkets. By the way, that's why, like we learned, the Avis and Moshe Rabbeinu are going to come down to listen to Mashiach teaching. Because Mashiach is going to reveal the secrets of Torah that they didn't know. Torah Chadashim Iti Teiti. It's going to come revelations of Torah that they never had a level of understanding. Higher than Shmiya, the level of Re'iyah. Yeah, of the essence. Okay, so now he says in Gimel, Miyata Yuvan Gam Kimashinam Avikol Shivin on the Cholim. He's going to split the Euphrates into 7. Now, before we learned the 12 is corresponding with the 12 Shvatim, which is the level of Bria, right? Because that level had to be revealed to get Matan Torah. Here he says, what's the number 7? Obvious, the patriarchs and matriarchs. 3 and 4 were 7. They're the level of Atzilus. That means the separating the Kriyas Narpras is not going to be in the level of Bria like Kriyas Yamsuf was, is going to be in the level of Atzilus. Kihine Yud Beishvatim Hein Bria, and is called Merkov the Tatot, the lower level of Merkov, which is Bria. Avala Aves Hein Merkov Merkavti Lord Atzilus, which is Chesed Gvur the Tiferet of Atzilus. Okay? So therefore, again, splitting means the concealed becomes revealed. So in Yam Suf is the level of Bria. So the level of Elokus coming into Bria, it was revealed. Right? In Bria as it is in Atzilus. That is going to be a splitting in Atzilus to get the revelation of higher than Atzilus into Atzilus. So it's an infinitely greater level. And therefore, Yud by Kriyas Yamsuf, which deals with the world of Bria, it was 12 corresponding with the 12 levels of Bria. But now we're talking about Nar Pros for the Gilui of higher than all that. That Gilui has to be revealed, so therefore it's split into Shiva and Necholim, the level of Atzilus, to Avos and Imoris, which is 7. By the way, you have the same thing on Pesach to a certain extent. There's a bunch of 3s and there's a bunch of 4s by Pesach, right? 4 cups of wine, 3 matzahs, 4, you know. It has to do with the Avos and Imoris. Avos, Imoris, whatever. In fact, there's a famous question Mefarshim ask, Mefarshim and Chumash and Halacha ask, why don't we have 4 cups? Why do we have 4 matzahs? Just so you have 4 cups of wine, we should have 4 matzahs for the 4 expressions of Geula. So there's a lot of answers, whatever. But according to Kabbalah Chassidus, this is the Avos, this is the Imoris, there's a lot of different explanations Kabbalistically on the 3s and the 4s and all that. Vinay K'mei Ashvatim, just like the Shvatim, even like he explained before, the Shvatim are in the level of Bria, nevertheless, Yesh Lehem Sheirish Shemakal Abatzilus Shel Ma'alam Bria. Their source of the Shvatim originates in Atzilus. Yeah, Al the Shamarak Shoshim Akerim Levat. In other words, the Shvatim Hamatmim Bria. The Shvatim themselves are at the level of Bria. Where is their source? Atzilus. Like it says, the Shamash in the Sata B, Tahira. What do we say every morning in Brachas? Elkain Shamash in the Sata B, Tahira Hi, Ata Brasa, Yotzarta, Nafachta. Blowing into as Asir, right? So we say, Elkain Shamash in the Sata B, the 4 worlds. Tahira Hi, pure as Atzilus. Then Ata Brasa, Ata Yotzarta, Ata Nafachta. When it comes into the Guf, that's the world of Asir. So he said, and Bria, which is already Yesh Mi'ayin, compared to Atzilus, is nothing. Right? 1 minute. So therefore like this. The source of the Shvatim is Atzilus. They are really in Bria. To connect, and Bria and Atzilus are worlds apart. Yesh Mi'ayin. So in order to connect Atzilus with Bria, that was Kriyas Yamsuf. Zeo Daikai de Kriyas Yamsuf, therefore it came into Yud Beis Gzorim, the 12 paths. V'kachel binyan ha'avis, shein atzmim zayin tachtein d'Atzilus. The same thing in that this way. The avis are in Atzilus, but where's the source of the avis? Higher than Atzilus. Be'eva anor Yoshua v'sechem, because Zah b'atika achad v'talya. Zah is one with Atik. There's Atik, Arich, and all that stuff, whatever. Elahainu shoshashim misham, which means like this. The Avis, their Shadish, is higher than Atzilus. Atik. Mikama kemein atzmam b'zayin tachtein d'Atzilus. But where are they? They're the Midas of Atzilus. Right? By much cause okay chen laos they vein if yod elanor yisalu ha'avis v'imois. The level of Atzilus will be elevated. There's galish shel ma'alam Atzilus in and Eved Anor Hanoi they b'china zayin tachtenim abatik yemim, and then he called the zayin nachol. Therefore, he's going to split into 7. The avis and imois shagam kol Yisrael yikablu gilu zay the avis v'imois. That everybody is going to get it through the Avos and Imois. In other words, by Kriyas Yamsuf was a revelation of Atzilus and Bria, which is very good. This says Zek Eli Van Veyu, and you know, and the Shivcha and the Yam saw more elokus than Yecheskel ben Buzi saw in his Nevuah, because the Kisei Merkava, the lower Merkava that he saw, is a level of Bria. The Rabbi just said that. So therefore, they saw the Gilu of Atzilus and Bria. That's it. The Shifcha saw more than Yecheskel ben Buzi, who spoke about the Merkava, the first day of Shavuos. He saw the Merkava, but that's the level of Bria. By loss of Lavai, it's going to be the Gilin out of Atzilus and Bria. Because we're talking about the Avis Suhar Atzilus. What's going to be revealed within them? The level of Atik, the higher level of Keser. And through the Avis is going to be revealed to all the Yidden. And that's why it says, Arenu Nifloit is going to be in the level of Ri'iyah. So that's why this is going to be split into 7, and this is going to was split into 12. Okay, therefore he says, "Aidei zayochlius achakach is galus pnimis atera, tamid atera which is galach mechens tima." But the other hand, Torah is in the revealed Torah. Is only Chabad of Zah. It's only the intellect of the Midas. But this secrets of Torah is going to be the hidden Lameichen Stima, means the Sechel of Keser. Ilah, Chachma Ilah is Chachma Vatzilus. Chachma Stima is a level of Keser. In other words, yes, it's a Hashem. What? No, Lost Love, it's going to come through them to all of us.
Right. But he can explain it all because
Moshiach will explain it.
right.
No, Moshiach will explain it.
Right? Moshiach.
Yeah. That's where Moshiach is a level of Yechida, which is higher than Moshe Rabbeinu.
Why we need explanation at that stage? We should understand it.
No, it's the revelations of Elokus. Not that we need to understand anything. We're not going to understand it. We're going to see it. Seeing is believing.
Seeing is much higher than.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen when Mashiach comes. We're going to see it.
So he doesn't need to tell us, we will see it.
Correct. But when Mashiach comes, nobody's going to have to teach. But Ayatollah Mashiach is going to teach everybody. Initially, Moshe Rabbeinu is going to reveal those levels.
Are we going to feel coming of Mashiach?
Yeah.
And
When it happens.
we will see.
The Rebbe said to people that Mashiach himself doesn't even know he's Mashiach until Hashem says, go reveal yourself.
Because we get used to things that are normal now that were amazing 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So we get used to miracles and things that happen. Like if you tell somebody,
We mentioned already by the Maamar says, B'shnas chametz me'er shana l'chayi neach, nifgod niftucha shemayim, niftuchu meyonas tehim rabba, v'arubas shemayim niftuchu. The earth steps opened up by the flood, right? It came from all over. So the Zohar says, in the year 5500, there's going to be revelations from the heaven, means of Torah. From the earth, there's going to be revelations of science and all these things. But that's all in the preparation for Mashiach, because it's Erev Shabbos after midday.
Are we not supposed to reject Mashiach?
Reject?
Yes.
When it's the real one, you know it's him.
How do we know?
How do we know? We're going to know.
but this is
Come to me, I'll tell you if it is or not.
this is a gradual understanding, or it's going to be an amazing thing. Like if somebody else would have told me,
You know what the Rambam says at the end of Hilchos Mashiach? When it happens, we'll know what it is.
like